All right, welcome back to another episode where I show you how I'm making this villager simulator game. Last episode, we got the villagers to die. In this episode, I was thinking to try to get a farm, and I'm trying to just think about how do I want to do this, how do I want the game to do farms in a game like I don't know RimWorld. You kind of are creating a number of spaces that would be farm spaces, and then each tile is going to produce its own kind of crop. And what I think the way that one kind of works is a character would plant the or prepare maybe the tile, and then it would plant it, and then they would go off and it would just kind of work on its own. And then when it was done with the producing the whatever crop, that character would then go and pick it and take it. But this one's not going to work like that. The way that actually just talking about it, I could do. We do have a grid. I could have like, okay, you select 5 of these grids, how many grid tiles you want, and then those would be considered farm tiles. And then the farm tiles, you could, the villager would go up to one of them, plant, go to another one, plant, go to another one, and plant them all. And then after a while, when it produces the crop, it would go back and chop them all down. That's not what I was thinking, though. I was thinking to have just another building. Since we are kind of focused on buildings, and the building would just be a farm building that would require a villager to be actively working in there like all the time. When it's not sleeping, it's not eating, it's not making a baby, it would be working in the farm, and that would help it to produce the crops. So let's get going with it. So we're going to need a new object, and let's create a script. Call it farm. All right. Let it kind of refresh. Now the farm we could inherit from building. We don't have to. We could have its own thing, but let's just open up the building. There we call it house. We have one called storage. We might call this workplace. And so this would kind of act as a workplace. We can still use the total occupants. That would say how many workers can be there. Let's see. How do we want to do this? So let's just write some pseudocode here. Well, let's get a resource, and this is going to be crop. And whoops, this is used to determine what crop will be made. All right. Let's have let's probably needs to be public. Private float yield time. And we'll set to default of that. Timer for producing crop. Maybe we should call it produce time. And then private, or so serialized field, private produce max time. And 100 as a default. Float. So how long does it take to produce? And then integer when you do a serialized field, it's just saying I can see it in the inspector, and it will use that number. Private, private int produce amount. Let's just say it produces 20. Okay. How many crops will it produce? All right. So far so good. Let's do a private void produce crop. And we're going to say for I is to produce amount. We're going to loop through and create all of these resources. So map manager dot instance dot add resource. We just need the gather object. And the location. So transform position, comma, gather object, resource. Oops, crop. All right, let's look at this real quick. I cannot see that. Here we go. I got two of them. This is an interactable. This is an interactable. Let me take a look at this real quick, see how we're using these resources. So the berry, or the berry is a resource. What we could do, let me go to my map manager. It's kind of interesting. Let's see, add instantiate the drop. So this is not what we want. This is taking a gatherable object and creating the resource. Say add resource from gather. So now we got some errors. Whoops. Add resource from gather. Yep. Okay. Let's go to the map manager. The reason why I'm going to do it in the map manager is just in case I ever want to just add a resource. And instead of this, we want to say just instantiate the resource. Changes to resource. And then in here, can I convert? No. Okay, let's see. I want to go to this definition. This is a game object. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying to think of how to do this. Usually I would have like, do I have resource prefabs? Resource prefabs. And we want to say resource num. Okay, we'll just leave that for now. So in our resource, let's say int crop. Now, this isn't necessarily the best way of doing it. It's probably better to use a, I mean, I just have to make sure that whatever that this resource number is going to be the resource num according to the list of prefabs. So we're going to get the actual number from that list, and so I have to set that for this farm building. Alright, so then it's going to add resource, transform position, comma, resource num. Let's say yeah, that's it. This will create all the resources according to the number, according to the amount. Thinking about this type of building, I wonder if I should change the name to a produce instead of farm. Because could there be another kind of building that would produce a different type of resource that's not necessarily a farm producing. I don't know. I think when we get to that point, maybe we'll change it. All right, so let's do this. Timer for producing crop. So we're going to say produce time is plus equal to 1. So why might this be bad? Am I incrementing this in other ways? It really should be time.delta time. I'm trying to think if I'm doing that elsewhere. We're not using time.delta time. Does that matter? Well, let's just leave it at that. If produce time is greater than or equal to produce max time, produce crop, and then produce time is equal to 0. All right, let's test this out just for just see if it'll just produce on its own. Let's see, the time might need to, yeah, I guess that's fine. I just need to wonder, again, I'm wondering if I just do a +1, because I have other code in here where we're just adding 1 to it on every frame, but should it be more according to the time.delta time based on whatever your speed of your computer is instead of the, I don't know how it all works sometimes, so all right, let's go to our projects, go to buildings, just add this real quick. Let's unpack it. Let's go to our sprites. I already created a farm sprite. Whoops. Let's change this to multiple, none, points, apply, sprite editor. That is 24. Okay, 48, apply. Let's see the house. Let's remove the eat, remove the sleep, remove the make baby, change this to workplace. The width, the height is 3. The width is 6. Sleep increase modifier is 0. Total occupants, say 1. Actually, let's remove this. We want to add the farm. So workplace, width is 6, 3, 0, 1. Resource number, we'll get that in a sec. Produce time, amount, okay. Let's go to our sprite. The position, half of 6 is 3. Half of 3 is 1.5. Let's change this to farm. Alright, it's a very tiny farm because I need to change the number of pixels. Apply. Alright. Let me go to change the name to farm. We're going to have different types of farm, but we'll just call it farm for now. And then map manager. Alright, so yeah, berries. We'll just do berries for now. So 0 is the resource now. Let's go to our prefabs, building prefabs, and add that here. Delete that. We need to make a blueprint for it. Prefab unpack completely. Build. Oh, that's good. Let's just say it takes wood. Building ID. Let's go to our map manager. We're going to add the farm. So this is number 2. Number 2 under the blueprint. The width is 6. Change the sprite here. Change the position. This should be 3 and 3.5. Oops, sorry, 1.5. Change this to farm. Alright, let me just double check. Everything looks fine. Let's drag it here. Whoops, not there. Let me just make sure I didn't accidentally. Build number is that. Let's go to our build here. Ooh, let me delete that. Look at that spelling. Then rename. Okay. And then in our map manager, let's add this blueprint. Let's play it. See if I can build it. Whoops. Let's there's the farm. Pick that up. Just get some things before we die. Okay. It's working on it. Alright, we got that. Let me go to my farm. It might take a while before it produces. So let's change this to 20. Oh, there we go. See that? We got food, everybody. We got food. Look at all of it. Get the food, get the food. It should probably produce some more, huh? Alright. We are getting food. Look at that. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure we should automate this with whoever's working in the... We could call it... I don't want to call it a storage, although it will act like a storage. Why is she just sitting there? Oh, there's no other task for her to do. And so she's already at the place where she can get food. If they had a house, then they would actually take the food and start eating. Their health is okay. Let's get a... Okay, now let's see if they'll build their house. Now, once when they start building their house, they're going to start having babies. We have lots of berries. um, there we go. Let's just keep gathering berries. We don't need more. That's all we need. Now, unfortunately, I can't like multi-select the berries here. All right. This is kind of cool. Now he's probably sleeping. Maybe he ate some. He's still hungry. He's gonna go get some food. Our poor guy right here. Um, all right, let's stop it for now. Let's get a worker though to do this producing. So if total, this is total occupants is greater than or equal to if all right, what we want to do is if villager controllers that count is greater than 0, if let's just hard code this for now. Dot entered building is equal to this. So if we're actually inside the building, and the only time we're going to be inside the building is when we're working. Then we are going to actually start producing. Okay? So only if we're working inside the building. So now, how do we do that? Let's go to our scripts. Let's do a new interactable. This is going to be kind of tricky. Let's call this work job action, work job. Feels so redundant, work job. But a job is what delete all this. And we're going to say interactable. Okay, let's go to our interactable objects. Call this work job. And this is going to be called work job action. Let's go to our map manager. All right. Work job action. All right. Task, blah, blah, blah. We're going to change this to dot work job state or work job. Okay. Enter building is this. Set active is false. Okay. So now in our villager, somewhere, village controller. Let's go to the case. Let's add the missing case there. And really this doesn't need to do anything. It just needs to be in this state. All right. Check needs. All right. Get task. So this is check if there's any blueprints. In our check needs, we do all that kind of finding a home. So I think we should also, and finding the soulmate. Test. Job. Public building. Job. It's our job building. The place where we work. I'm thinking of having more than just the AI automatically just finding a job and going to it, where maybe the user has a little bit more control of who he wants or who they might want to have working at a certain place. But for now, we'll do this. Test job. So we need to, let's do some if job is equal to null. Loop through all interactables that have a job action, a work job action. And I think we already have that, don't we? Interactable is equal to map manager.instance dot get interactable based on that type. I'm so glad I wrote that function. Just kind of make it a little bit easier. Work job. Why not? Two-type work job. Oh, it sends a list. That's right. Let's go back to here. Still doesn't want to get this work job as a type, which is not valid in the given context. Type of. Okay. So then, now that we got that list, for each interactable in, we're going to call it, call this interactables, interactable, in interactables. We're going to do work job, work job, work job. Oops. This is going to be very similar to the finding a house. Work job is equal to work job interactable. Okay. Then we want to say job is equal to work job dot game object. Oh, it's called a building. Do we need to call it a building? We could just call it a work job. Whatever. Let's do it here. Let's just do it. It might be easier. Okay. And then, actually, let's do this. Building is equal to this. Building, and then building, oops, building dot village controllers dot add this. And we want to say if building, sorry, if just do all this. If, put that inside here, we just want to make sure that our if building dot villagers.count is less than total occupants. Less than or equal to, right? So if it's no. If it's less than it, it has to equal less than it. All right. I know I didn't do a lot of coding here, but make sure the building isn't full. Make this building the place of work, the job place. Okay. All right, so that's where you work. Anything else? Let's return after we find one. And so now we need the AI to actually go to your job. Let's say we have no other tasks and we get to this point here. Create a task for going to job. If job is not equal to null, create a task job.getComponent work job. I believe that's all we have to do. And then we want to, man, go to definition. So this creates the task. So I do like this function. Creates the task. It does everything that it needs to do. It creates it, gets that last one. Let me go here. And we want to say task. Just return our task. So we then don't get a random one. Okay. So then in our map manager, work job. I don't know, sometimes you just gotta test it out, right? Let me make sure. Prefabs, building. We need the work job. And this needs to be work job. Okay, so yeah. in our village controller, we don't want him to keep creating a task over and over again after he does the work. Basically, the task is only getting him to go there to kind of like punch. He punches in. So then when he's actually in that building, we're going to be in this work state. So we don't want to get this if we're in that state. We don't want to create another task of it. And work character state is not equal to working. One, two, build that. Just get some food so we don't die. Why? I think, okay, there, he was sleeping. It's like, why isn't he going? Because they fall asleep. It takes them a while for them to die because their health goes down slowly. Now their health never comes back. Okay, let's pause it for a sec. Let's go to our farm. We have a village controller. Only one. We have let me see if I can. Okay. Let me go to my map manager or my UI manager and let me drop that as a selected one just in case I don't have it selected. Actually I do, Betty. So Betty's working. Farm. She's working. Her hunger is 0. Will she go and eat? There's no berries. There's nowhere to get food. She can't find any food. So she's working in there. It's going to take a while. Let's chop down. Let's get some berries. And the question is, you see her sleep? She's sleeping. She's not coming out. I don't see her. I don't see her sleeping at all. So she should go and sleep. Let me see her. She's in that work job. Betty. She's never going to come out. Do I have any more berries somewhere? See, right now she's not even coming out to eat. So why not? Let me go to the check. She doesn't have a task. She shouldn't have a task. Let's see. In our AI. If home building is null, if task equals null, if character value. The only thing I can think of is that she still has a task, which doesn't make sense because she did the work job task. Here, because it went to the character state, so village controller. Um, skips this, right? If job equals null. So it's going to skip over this and then comes here to the sleep state. It'll skip over this, get soulmate. So it has a soulmate. If it's this, if soulmate, if it's this, and it's a soulmate, and the soulmate is not equal to null. This might have to go before this. No, just leave that. Soulmate is not equal to null. Okay. So this is not true. It doesn't have a home building, so this will be not. This will go skip all this and goes right into this. And yet, that's the job. And then it comes here. Character state is less than that, and we're not in a sleep mode. If we do not have a task, let's just test this out really quick. Else debug.log. We're going to say villager name plus I has a task. Let's just see. Let's do that again. I don't want to build that. Just gonna give him some jobs to do, some task. All right. Well, did they just have a baby without their partner? Did I just see that? I do not. No, that was. I thought I just saw that they both didn't go in. Okay, so someone's working. Let's pause it. Bob has a task. Let's clear all this. Let's see who's working in that farm. It is Betty. Betty again. All right, so we want to. Now she is hungry, so she should want to go eat. Actually, let's check the sleep. Bob has a task. Bob has a task. Here, let's collapse it. Betty 3 has a task. That's not Betty though. Betty has a task. And clear it. What's her task? Oh, well, remember it's for the sleep. Let's go to the sleep. She's not in a sleep state, is she? No, she's in a work state, work job. She has a home. Um, okay, this is just testing, finding a place to work. So this just finds a place to work. Down here is our task, but we should get, let's just say end. Well, no, it won't. Let's see. Let's go to the sleep. See, we don't have a task. It did create a task though. Wait. Oh, let's go back to the sleep. Sorry, Betty is not creating a task. I have that debug. Not created a sleep task, which means she. Oh, no. Yeah, I didn't create a sleep task, which means I have a task. What was my task? Let's pause it. Just get some of these cleared out. Sometimes it's hard to click because our villager is kind of blocking the casting array, or cast array, or ray cast, whatever you want to call it. All right, build this farm. So it's usually Betty who gets. Right, let's see who's in the farm. Okay, it's Betty. She should. We're just going to test out her sleeping. Betty has not created a sleep task. So the reason why she's not creating a sleep task is because. Oh, but character state is sleep. Okay, so she's falling asleep, and then in our let's see, that's our check needs. I need to probably organize this a little bit. Then in our get task, she then creates this job. That's what's happening. Right? That's the only thing I can think of. Hmm. Oh Um, just trying to think. Because she doesn't create a task to go into her sleep state. She just automatically goes to her sleep state. But this is that happens and then this happens. So we basically it just still doesn't make 100%. 100%. It's kind of closing some of these down. Alright, this is what's happening. So she checks her needs. Said, hey, you're in a sleep state, so it shouldn't try to get another task. When we get into sleep state, we should go down to sleep. So let's just check that code out. Sleep. Alright, we unpause it. For building sleep modifier is equal to 10. Need to. Alright. Enter building is not null. She's in a building. She's sleeping in this. But remember, I said to 0. Okay. She's going to fall asleep at her work. That's why it's not increasing. But then why is she still in a state of working job? Why is she still in that? Oh, maybe because she gets right out of it. That's probably why. Maybe. If enter building is not null, which it isn't. So it gets the sleep modifier from that. The increase rate is 0, so it's never increasing. So she should never get out of the state. Let's just test this out. Let's add task time. Sleep modifier is 1. Alright, well this video is kind of going on pretty long. If this doesn't help any, then I'll just pause it and try to finish it off, maybe off screen. Let me just pause it, see who's working the farm. It's usually Betty. Yep, Betty. Go to our UI manager so we can see it. But it says she has not created a task. Which means task is still something. We're not getting rid of our task. We are creating these work tasks. Alright, I'm going to put a pause in there. I'll try to figure it off screen. Thanks for watching. Maybe next time in our video, I might have it where we can actually see in our display here what job they're doing. What are they doing? Are they moving? Are they sleeping? Have kind of more of a display here of letting us know what the villager's doing. All right, thanks again for watching.